2023 camera industry predictions, at least the camera companies that I pay any attention to. First off, Canon. Clearly something that's going to happen. It's very obvious to me, at least at this point. EFM, EOS M is likely going away. I like that mount. I have two M6 Mark IIs at the moment. Technically one was sent to Canon because it had a weird thing. I use them for video a lot of the time, also photography. Nice cameras, they're compact, they do the job. Obviously the RF mount, they will continue to advance it, add new cameras. They have R6 Mark II, something like that. I don't even barely pay attention to them with the RF mount stuff. Clearly they're going to just have the one mount to rule them all. At the very least, hopefully Sigma and Tamron are able to make RF mount lenses. Who knows? I think Canon might get the picture that it's a really bad idea to fully block everyone out of your mount. Next up, DJI. I haven't really had any big interest in using a drone. Maybe they'll make new drones, who knows? But more so on the video side, they've been getting into video tools. I think more expensive stuff. I could see them definitely going harder into video stuff because drones have so much legal hassles related to them. I could see them doing more action camera stuff or like gimbal thingamajigs. Yeah. Next up, Fujifilm. I really like the X100 series, but then didn't do enough of what I wanted to use it for at the time. Eventually sold the X100F. They have their APS-C mount stuff. It doesn't personally appeal to me that much. Nice design. I mean, if you want that aesthetic, physical body aesthetic, although they've been changing that up as well, go for it. But I don't really have any great predictions for them. So Ricoh's GR camera. Hopefully Fujifilm gets back into that and makes a similar camera so that there are more options with that style of very compact, large sensor camera. GoPro is an enigma. Every year they make a new one. It's very similar to the other ones, but it has some benefits. I wouldn't mind the 11. I have the 9 and it's been working very well for me. I do a lot of point of view style photography videos. Having that on the camera, having it on my chest and a backpack works nicely. I don't think they're going away. They'd have their place. They have their purpose. It's just where do they go from where they are now? I do think they might release a new 360-degree camera, and we'll probably see a refresh of the GoPro with who knows what at this point. Nikon. I'm not on the list. I hate pop-ups. Please, Nikon, please don't do pop-ups. It is nice that they have let some third parties, or they don't stop third parties from making lenses for the Z-mount. I could see that being a big benefit. Of course, they'll probably release new lenses. They're going to refresh the Z6 and Z7 most likely. Maybe the Z5. We'll see. Hopefully they do a Z30, but better. The current Z30, not so much. I want H.2 265. Space savings is a huge deal for me, trying to save all my old projects. It adds up very quickly. Maybe they'll make a full-frame version of the ZFC. Really depends on how successful it was. I honestly don't know. My knowledge of Micro Four Thirds is very limited. I haven't used these cameras, but I'll make an attempt. The OM1 looks very appealing. Even their previous ones with Olympus, the EM1 series. Oh, we are the dark horse. They are the dark horse of photography. That's great. Oh, this is good. This is good. Olympus, please. This isn't really a prediction, but please make a tough camera with a larger sensor. It would be very cool. You're the one camera company that makes a decent-ish waterproof camera these days. Oh, I have this recorder. It's very nice. I do actually have a Olympus thing. I don't know. I thought they stopped selling these, but LSP4. The LSP4, it encodes. It does FLAC FLAC encoding for audio. You do cool stuff. Waterproof, water-resistant cameras. Neat. I would love to try your stuff out. If you ever watch my videos, please send me stuff. Panasonic is another camera company that I have not used any of their stuff from as far as I can remember. They've refreshed their cameras quite a bit. What could they do? Autofocus. Phase detect autofocus. Panasonic. That's what you're going to do in 2023, isn't it? It's tough to say where they're going to go from the GH6 series. Maybe they'll make a phase detect version, but it feels kind of unlikely considering they just refreshed those cameras. I could definitely see them pushing more into full frame and then having a phase detect full frame camera. Ricoh Pentax. Will they change the K1? Or will they just like repackage it such as they did with the K70? Actually, their main focus is probably going to be on the GR series, which is good. I would personally love to have a GR camera, Ricoh. You know, if you want to send me one to try out, that would be great. Hopefully 2023 GR water resistant camera. Ricoh, you can do it. And maybe they'll refresh the K1 somehow. I think they could put a larger viewfinder in like they did with their APS-C K3 Mark III. 645 series, I don't even know if they have the resources to do anything with that. Maybe they'll refresh one of those, like legitimately do it, instead of repackaging the same camera over and over and over again. Sigma 2023 new lenses, maybe RF mount lenses. We're going to see Z lenses, most likely. More Sony stuff, of course, a lot more Sony stuff. I don't know any specific lenses, focal lengths, no idea. But on the camera side, maybe they'll refresh the FP with a new sensor. I really think they need to do that, considering it doesn't have a mechanical shutter. They put a fast readout sensor in an FP camera. I think they're going to have a good time. I feel like it's unlikely we'll see the Foveon camera come out in 2023. Sony, I think they're going to do quite a bit. With the FX30, feels pretty clear that they're going to make photography versions, at least one, using that newer sensor for their entire E-mount APS-C. I saw some YouTubers in Japan for something. Question is what? Was it Sony? Was it a different camera company? Was it something totally unrelated? Who knows? I honestly don't know. Full frame. I don't pay too much attention to their full frame stuff. Maybe Sony will refresh their highest of the high-end line. What is it, the A1 series? Sony, if you want to send me stuff. Hopefully they refresh the ZV-E10 with the newer sensor. Sony likely is going to get bigger and bigger unless Canon gets their act together. Yeah, I have no idea what focal lengths Tamron's going to release. Who knows? More Sony lenses, obviously. Likely more Z-mount lenses, which is great. I generally hope that sensor technology advances in 2023 so we get higher, faster readout sensors over the range of cameras. That way smaller cameras can do away with the mechanical shutter, saves on costs, and is better in many ways, but might have some downsides depending. Makes the camera smaller most likely, and cheaper. But probably not cheaper, probably more expensive, but then they make more profit. That's usually how it goes, or seems to go these days. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, in the comments, if you want to put your own predictions or comment on my predictions, feel free to. Scott of Photography Bonsai. Thanks.